Welcome to another exciting episode of Gem Collectors with Shawn. And I put all that energy into the word exciting because this is going to be another one of those neat shows where you wonder, it's like, where does he keep getting these things from? And to just jump right forward, like the green spinel. Miss Gabby comments that if by chance the green spinel comes back, that she would like to have it. Miss Gabby, you know, golly, not sure when you're watching and whatnot. I know you're looking for one, but let me tell you how I found that one. And to preface this, everybody, she referenced, did green spinels exist a month or two ago, some time ago? And so we had a little discussion about it. And of course, I showed a picture of these really bright green stones. Well, there was no way, even if it said natural spinel, that it was ever going to be. And so we did look at pictures that were of the natural spinel, which is a dark green, sometimes a greenish blue, but that's what's considered green and extremely rare in the spinel world. Well, I was looking in the house for, well, you know, since our house is totally disturbed, everything has gotten moved around. And I happened upon a bag within a bag that was just, I couldn't even tell you how long or what it had been doing there. But there were some things that dated back to when Raven first started here at Gem Shopping. So you're talking about 12 years ago. And on some of the items that were in the bag, even longer. And in that bag was an old parcel I had of Burma spinel. And that's where those spinels came from. That's where those spinels came from. They were just native cut. I hadn't got a chance to do anything with them. And that's where the kyanites were. And wait till you see some other exciting things I found in it as well. Okay, so let's get to the comments. We have a lot to do today, so I want to do as much as we can. I want to also, before time gets away from me any longer than the day after that it is, happy Mother's Day to all your mothers out there. And of course, if I would have wished it to you last Monday, it would have seemed way premature. I'd rather wish it to you the day after, because you know what? As wonderful as mothers are, they should be wished a happy Mother's Day and treated wonderfully every day. It is very apropos that the question was asked of me from a friend of one of our new members to the rock group from the Netherlands, what my favorite opals, or did I have a favorite opal story? And so I told, and if you want to hear the whole story, go a couple of episodes back and just listen to the beginning part, and you'll know that it's part of that episode. And I tell the story that the very first most impressive opal that I always will remember is the one my mom bought for me. When I was 13 years old, I had finished my opal cutting specialized lessons. And I think I remember it being like $35, which was a lot of money. You're talking 1973 to 74. And she picked it out. She picked it out from the rock shop, of course, that I would later work at shortly after that. And is still in business to this day in Sarasota, Florida. So the stone I cut from that, which I still have, that was the memorable one. And then, of course, the other, you have to go back and watch the show because it was the hidden jewel inside a knobby of potch. Great story. Okay, so now we have a couple that got the comments in from last week a little late. Harry in Massachusetts being one of them. He says, hi there, Shawn. I was able to actually get the semi-mount. Woohoo! I'm sure out of my 200 plus cut stones, I can get a nice fit. Just a quick question. What lamp do you use with your fastening machine? Okay, so I have multiple fastening machines, and believe it or not, the real expensive ones for the digital readouts, we won't name names of that one. really fine and best made fastening machine there is to the market, okay, and by price. But my graves that I got when I was 15 years old, that still has a little wobble to the plate, and everything is just a little worn, kind of like me. I know that machine so well, I prefer to use it over the fancy one. So with that machine, there is a flexible lamp that is attached and comes with it. Well, it is set up, and what was in it originally was one of the 25-watt original incandescent bulbs. Well, if you don't know it by now or didn't realize it, there's no more of those to be found. All there is those little curly Q things that save electricity and put out a terrible wavelength of light for doing a lot of things, actually. So, guess what? I am a collector of incandescent bulbs. Oh yeah, you go to a yard sale, you go to, you can get an old lamp, and if it's got the bulb in it, it's almost worth it for the bulb, paying, for the lamp. One time I said, they told me how much they wanted for everything. I said, okay, but I'll take the bulb for that, and you can have the lamp back. And I did that because it was cheap. You can't even buy one of these fancy bulbs for what it was, like $1 or something. So I collect the old original bulbs. They're also the bulbs, the incandescent bulbs, that are necessary or very useful for doing color change and a lot of other gemological uses. Okay, so I have that one in the machine. Then so I'm left-handed, so I'm cutting left-handed. So this is the way I would be cutting. So I have that one over the top of it. Then off to my shoulder right here, I have a one of those kind of like, it reminds me of the War of the Worlds, the very original first one. Now, I may be talking to some people that have no idea what that one looks like, but I have a feeling there's a lot of you that do. The original Martian that had that long neck that came out, and at the end was the eye with the laser that came out. Well, it's this long-reaching neck with a 50-watt halogen in it that is amazingly just very focal in its beam of light. And then to my right, so over on this side, I have a elongated office flexible fluorescent light. Oh, yes, I do. From what I've said before, I am a somewhat of a I carry 3 different pen lights. Yes, 3 different pen lights in my pocket, usually almost at all times. So that's the kind of nerd I can be. And so with the fastening machine, with those 3 different wavelengths of light, now where I work, all 3 of them at one time mix and blend the light. But all I have to do is turn a little to the left or turn to the right to get the 90% of the wavelength of light from fluorescence or the halogen, or right in the middle for the incandescent. And by doing that, I can orient stones better, I can check for color change, I can orient for color change, I can orient for dichroism. Gives me a lot of flexibility, and also tells me what it would look like in an office environment, which is fluorescent mostly, what it would look like in a halogen environment, which is used in a lot more places than you think. Oftentimes malls, things like that, have those high intensity ones that come down. So that's the answer there. I use a blend of light just as I do in my homemade mineral cabinets that I make. So great question, actually. Great question. Sorry I can't respond to the show. It's past deadline, and man, I've been so dang busy. I am cutting a huge elongated teardrop of very fine smoky quartz from Colorado. And just on my freehand shaping and faceting, I have finally got pavilion dialed in and out and cut, and I'm polishing in the last row at 52 degrees, the outer row, and from that, I went 45 degrees, 40, 38. I know critical angle on quartz is 40, but I'm adventurous, and I have cut lower than that, no windows, but I will keep my secret. God bless you and Raven and Summer and all the cool cats at wonderful GSN. Blessings and my love to all. Harry. Yes. So for critical angle, and that's important for everybody to actually know. It'll help explain stones better. There's a mathematical angle derived for each particular refractive index for gemstones. And theoretically, if you cut below that critical angle, you will create a fisheye or a window, however way you want to call it, but a dead place that doesn't reflect the light properly by doing so. But that mostly will occur in stones that are symmetrical. So if you're cutting a pear shape that isn't symmetrical, in other words, it's pointing on one end and not on the other, it will not be as noticeable, and I've gotten away with it on other gems as well. So he's right. Unless you really go underneath that angle and create a shallow stone, sometimes you can fudge a little bit and cut below that critical angle, because sometimes the material doesn't allow you enough depth to be able to cut that angle, and that's when you struggle with it. Miss Barbara in New York, again from last week. Hi, Shawn, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. I know 3 little kids who will love the coprolites I ordered. Oh, aren't you a rascal there? Of course, everybody remember coprolites. I am going to be offering some more today. Since they were such a big hit, I decided that I'm going to offer the smaller size today. Coprolites, of course, are fossilized, a name given to all fossilized dinosaur or very old animal dung. And it's just amazing at how well it fossilizes when you see it. It just really replicates it quite well. And it's, like I joked, really beats a Snickers in the pool. Or no, a Baby Ruth. That's what kids used to do. The old Baby Ruth in the pool thing. If you want to clear a pool out, that was the way to do it. But a coprolite, I think will do it even better. So I know 3 little kids who will love the coprolites I ordered on Zoom yesterday. They appeared as talking poopy faces. That's how they appeared. This will be right up their street. Reminds me of the pyretized bear poop I purchased in the early 70s from a museum shop with the wickedly clever name Endangered Feces. Oh, absolutely, a great name. It was master cutter Victor Tuslakov who made a model out of the old diamond simulant YAG before adjusting the angles for Savorite and the actual 116 karat stones. His collections of faceted and carved gemstones are worth Googling. As to the trivia, petrified poop is coprolites, Oregon is copper spangles, and India is hematite. Now, Barbara is wanting to step into it here big time because she says, guess that makes Chinese andesine labradorite closer to Oregon, but both being feldspar. Boy, wasn't the location, the treatment on that an industry-wide debate in 2009 and 2008 during the Beijing Summer Olympics. Well, back to my house guest. Enjoy the nice weather, Barbara from Brooklyn. Yes, the whole andesine and the diffusion treatment of that, turning them into beautiful orange stones, and the subsequent investigation that led to a location that was supposed to be where they were finding them. And it turns out the location was salted. I know the players in the entire thing, a lawsuit ensued, and a very well-known and considered expert and in the mineral and gem arena was involved. So a lot of people got involved, and it was very easy to know which was the right side or the wrong side, but a lot of people got mixed up and were on the wrong side. So if you ever want to do some extra reading, do that. But like I had said, I think I figured out, of course, what they was used, because there was massive quantities of this material, and it was genuine feldspar. It was like the bitonite that I offered, that yellow feldspar. Well, that was so clean and so plentiful, and I believe that was probably the material that was used to to do what they did with it. So, it pays to know feldspar family, even though a lot of people don't delve into the feldspar family like the garnet family. You know, it's not considered, even though they sell, you know, yellow feldspars, the labradorites, the plagioclases sell, but they're so inexpensive that there's really not that big of a market for it. And the color just isn't as exciting as other colors. But anyway, nevertheless, the feldspars have a big family group with a lot of variations in it, as does the garnet. Cindy says, hello, Rock family. Excellent show this week, Shawn. So much info. Welcome to another Cindy, she says, because, of course, we had another Cindy join us last week. She didn't join us this week, but we hope that she does and continues contributing to the conversations or the trivia. Going to the local rock show Saturday, can't wait. This one is more of a yard sale, vendor stands, flea market, all kind of uniqueness. Last time I passed up some nice Wavelite from Pennsylvania, so hope there is some there. Trivia. Okay, so I am going to show you, when we're done in a moment, the 3 items that we had up that we used for the trivia question this week, which was to name the 3 items. And it's to help you be able to spot things in the marketplace or in the back of a tailgate, where a lot of times even the person selling the items don't know what they are or call them something different. So it pays to know some or have some base knowledge. So even if you don't get, let's say, the exact type of feldspar, you at least know it is a feldspar, that kind of thing. So I'll show you those in a moment. But the answers, it looks like Miss Cindy has them correct. Fulgurite from Florida. Remember, fulgurite is created by a lightning strike, and one of the ways to tell is there'll be a hollow center where the bolt of lightning that is usually no wider than a pencil is so hot that it melts the surrounding sand on the inside. So the inside will be a shiny, sort of smooth surface, and the exterior will be just as rough as can be. I'll show and offer some for sale later in the show. Then the second one, greenstone / jade from New Zealand. Not only did she get the right material, but she got the place where it came from as well. New Zealand. Now that one actually I had put up for sale at one time, and then it's not going to be for sale anymore. It is an educational piece because, of course, even in the graphics, I have, bought in New Zealand. It was a personal piece I got when I was with my dad in the in Hokitika, the jade community. And I thought, wow, why would I ever sell that? It's an educational piece as well. So anyway, the third item, pink tourmaline. Pink tourmaline. Now, you didn't have to get the country of origin correct, so Cindy did very well with that. Mr. Anthony says, number 1, I'm going to say agatized coral. Well, at least you got the state right, because the fulgurite and the coral would come from Florida, and they were kind of lightning. Fulgurites aren't exactly organic, but they are created in kind of in a different way, like agatized coral is. Since you said it's not what we're thinking, which would be fulgurite. Well, I'm sorry for steering you wrong on that. I don't know what I had in mind, but I'll give you credit for the fulgurite anyway. Number 2, looks grayish green with a mottled surface to me. It looks like some olive green nephrite that I have. Wow. That is the way to determine what something is. Well done, Mr. Anthony, on that one. It is absolutely nephrite from New Zealand. Number 3, looks like pink kyanite, but the crystal habit is not correct. So I'm going to leave it there as near as that would be. And that would be a pretty near because of the way the crystals are together like that. But you're right, the crystal system is different, and we'll look at that in a minute. Anthony says he's exhausted. Eyes down as always. Miss Gabby says, hi to all my Rockhound friends. Lots of more unusual and rare items today. Was too slow on the green spinel. But congrats to whoever got it. Shawn, if you were a sneaker, in parentheses, she puts, as one of the nephews would say when he was a tyke. So I was a sneaker on that one, she says. If it ever were to come back by some miracle and you want to pretty it up, I'm willing to pay for your time. And that's what I said about that one, and why I actually put in the graphic that it was as is, because Jim Shopping normally doesn't sell something like that, but that was such an older stone, and obviously came from a nice piece of jewelry that was well loved. Because of the even wear on it, it's an old stone. So yes, there would be a cutting fee that was actually would be more than the stone. And so I thought, well, if I go ahead and cut it, I would A, either keep it and not sell it, or B, it would greatly raise the price of the stone. So, I thought maybe a cutter would buy it as is or whatnot, but of course someone like Miss Gabby would buy it and then have me recut it, which would be also a lot of fun, and something that I have not ever worked on before, a green spinel. And I don't know who got it. I'd like to know, but just the way I found those, and then whom it wound up with, then maybe that's where it was supposed to be for whatever reason. But I certainly wouldn't have minded, Miss Gabby, if you ended up with it, because I know you would really appreciate it. And I know if I offered it, I don't know. I was tormented about that one, put it that way. So it was a really, really great price on it as well. So here's the thing. I didn't know I had that one when I found it. So I do remember vaguely putting up spinels a long time, well over a decade ago. And I can't say that was all of them. So there could be more. There could be more. She goes on to say, love the what is this trivia. Going with fulgurite, nephrite, and since it doesn't look like the material from your friend's mine, I'm going to say New Zealand and tourmaline. Very good. Very good. Getting them all correct. Pick to follow in the near future. Take care and best to all. Miss Barbara in Brooklyn. Hey, Professor Raven, GSN crew and the whole Rock family. On the run with house guests. Admire the colorful spinels and the messy goethite. More next week. Number 1, fulgurite from Florida. Greenstone / jade from New Zealand. Number 3, pink tourmaline from, and believe it or not, wow, Miss Barbara gets the country of origin, Paprock. Paprock, Afghanistan. We'll show you those in a moment. Be well all, Miss Barbara from Brooklyn. Then we have Penny and Mahalia in Quebec. Hadn't heard from Miss Penny in a while. Hello, Shawn, Raving, amazing GSN crew and fellow Rockhounds. I'm checking in again. I hope everyone is well. Thank you for another great show. Faves of the week, those kyanite gems. Yeah, absolutely, from Nepal. That was, again, a neat find to be able to offer all of you. Trivia, Florida fulgurite, nephrite jade. I don't remember where from, but I know it's not from BC. Exactly. Well answered. And pink tourmaline. Just when things were calming down from Mahali soccer, everyone listen to this story. And I'm going to, that's why sometimes that's why I read through these first, so that something doesn't really catch me off guard. And this one I happened to read with Raven at the same time, and I said, I don't know if I can do this on air. So luckily I had my cry at home with her when I read this. So Penny and Mahalia of our little community, everybody listened to her life events. Just when things were calming down from Mahali soccer and the running around, 3 weeks ago I ended up in the ICU for a week fighting for my life. If my amazing young man who is 12 years old now, hadn't come home from school when he did, we wouldn't be having this conversation. When I fainted for the second time and was non-responsive, he had the courage to call 911, answer all their questions, tell them that it was a stone in the bile duct left there by incompetent doctors from a previous gallbladder surgery and 5 ERCP interventions. And he accompanied me in the ambulance to the hospital. Despite the fear that I saw in his eyes when I woke up in the ER, he had even had the presence of mind to throw a couple of my things in a bag and to call his godmother to get him and wait for him. We always say that life is too short, but never do anything about it until we knock on death's door. We'll be going to Spain and Greece this summer. Greece is her where she's originally from. And I also decided that when I see something I like, reasonably priced of course, I will buy it. We really must learn to enjoy today, take chances, and live every moment to the fullest, because we have no guarantees for tomorrow. If we do nothing in our lives, then we have just existed and not lived. That sounds like a very sad way to waste your life. Thank God I'm still here to do all that. And I hope others will do the same and step out of their comfort zones and enjoy life. Those are certainly words to live by. To live by. Then she says, now I will see if there's any kyanite left. That's the Rockhound spirit. We wish everyone a wonderful week and see you next week. Penny and Mahali requests, and she mentions a couple things that she's looking for, so I will keep an eye out for them for you. Then, it's great because I love to see what everyone looks like, so I can put faces with a name. And Charles and Heidi. So I got to see both halves. And Charles, I would have, when I had you pictured in my mind, that was not it. That was not it. Great photo. And the photo of both of you, it says 1,000 words. You guys look extremely artsy, and it looks like you just would fit in an art community really well. Very cool of you. So thank you. Ciao, everybody. I love Afghani tourmaline, but gave all of mine away many, many years ago. That sounds like me giving away my geo collection to the boys club at 6. I think I was like, 16. By 17, I wanted it all back. It is pretty awesome to win some pink Afghani tourmaline for the trivia prize. Thank you. It looks much better than what I've had in the past. Your discussion of feldspar really makes me want to learn more about the variety within the mineral group. That's what I was just talking about. Sounds like quite the rabbit hole. Oh yes, there's stuff to learn there. P.S. I've attached a picture for you, which I really enjoyed. With love, Charles. Trivia, opting out. The first looks like quartz on my screen, but the hollow tube-like structure is what confused me. Well, you technically are right. It is fused quartz. Fused, Florida stand in this case. So in a way, you're right about that. The second is nephrite jade. Bingo. The third appears to be selenite. Well, got a little off on that, but we're going to show you those closer. Okay, I'll announce the winner in a moment. Let's look at those three pieces, and then you'll be able to see exactly what what you were trying to figure out what they were. So the three trivia items with the fulgurite on the left, right here. So you can see that the giveaway was when you can look right down through the middle, and you can see how coarse the fused sand is on the outside, but on the inside it is look at that, it's shiny just like glass because it basically becomes that. Here is the piece that I got with my dad right there. And I remember the exact rock shop with him and everything. And of course, since he passed last summer, this is a memory now. I can't imagine what I was thinking to even begin to sell it. Now this item is, nailed it. This is Paprock, Afghanistan. And these are some beautiful other additional crystals here on this side. Now, you can see it's also has a touch of bicolor to it. And this would be more like, it sounds like what Charles referring to by quality, because the crystals he got were pink, but they were quite transparent for the most part. But this makes a great cluster. Why have I not offered this to all of you for sale? Well, because I don't, that's one of the most, one of the very, very few, if not maybe only pieces I have at the moment that I don't own. And the amount of money that is wanted for it, I think, is more than it's worth. So, what actually they're asking for is probably actually the market value. But to me, everything I have to offer you is, I want to be below market value. So, it's a great educational specimen, but not one for sale. All right, let me tuck these away, but let me first tell you who the winner is and what they have won. The winner this week is Miss Gabby. Miss Gabby, you have won, look at this, a most unusual and rare maroon chalcedony. And this has chlorite and stilbite on it. So the chlorite in this case is going to be this darker green that you're actually seeing. And then to find the stilbites, they're quite fun because they are little tiny crystals that are sprinkled about. And let's see, here's the other side of it with a little bit different tinge of color. Okay, so you see all those shiny little reflective items? Those are, look at those, back in the forest of growth of the very cool chalcedony. So those are the stilbites. Look at that. And so this side, there's only chlorites in little like the openings of it. But along with the blue chalcedony were really rare finds in the chalcedony world, this maroon one. And it's real lightweight, almost feels like a loofah sponge, but I guarantee, try to use that on your face and you won't have any skin. Oh, if we can show just this one crystal, there we go. You can see that this is large enough for everybody to see, and just so that you know what you're looking for, they're gonna have that pointed termination. And in this case, what's really unusual is they're clear instead of like white, but look at all the little sparkles there. They're really everywhere once you know what you're looking for. All right, let me tuck some things away. We'll be back to start the show. Right straight to some good stuff, because I have never showed you this or anything like this before. And by now, if I haven't shown you something and I'm showing you something for the first time, you know it's got to be something different and unique, and it is. This is a form of mica. Lepidolite. You're familiar with lepidolite. You know, it's the lilac to purple and can even be transparent in a lilac color. It's amazing. It's amazing stuff. And look at those layers. It almost looks like, well, I don't know, fossilized dinosaur eggs together. All kinds of neat things. But you can see that lilac type of color. And if Dave just follows me right back here against the white, you can see it as well. It really reflects it beautifully. Now, you have feldspar here and additional crystallization on the back here. And let me show you something. This is what I was referring to. You can't really tell it until you put light on it. And then you can see, well, if I had my other flashlight, but at the edge of the, there we go. You could look at that. You can see that translucency in this case. And that's what makes it really interesting, is you don't see that in the material looking at it from above. Thank you, sir. But see, you can't even see that it would be anything but opaque, but not the case. And that's why this kind of material is really treasured. Now, I'm going to, okay, you see this look of this? I am going to show you a couple of pictures that I pulled from our resource site. Look at this. Now, if that doesn't look exactly like the formation of the item I just showed, and the other picture from the same mine, look at that. You can see that, wow, when you have comparisons like that, when you're doing research, thank you, then look at that. Then you know that you have your origin correct, which is now, I had to ask this Brazilian multiple times how to pronounce the word. Araquai. So you can go and stop the show on those pictures you just saw, and if you didn't notice, there is the spelling of that word and location in the picture. So you can go back to that. Araquai. And it also, if you've been watching me for many years, you will have seen that I sold a number of, instead of just terminated quartz, this was, I don't know how correctly, if it's correct to use the way, it was indicolated. Indicolitinated? I don't know. It was indicolite needles. Beautiful blue tourmaline shooting through the quartz. It wasn't just schorl like you see most commonly. Until I saw those quartz with the tourmaline in it like that, I had never heard of this location in Brazil. So that was my first introduction to that word that has more vowels than, and it also has a vowel with a funny little squiggle underneath it. In other words, part of an alphabet letter that is not part of ours. So this is a piece that is great transition from one to the other. That is easy to identify as being from that mine, because there is no others that look anywhere even similar to it. Then those specimens there, of course, coming from our #1 resource that our industry uses, or us rockhounds use for sourcing the origins of particular minerals. So this piece, I don't know where you'd even find another one. If you were trying, it would be quite unusual, but I'm still going to be offering it at a very reasonable opportunity of only $77. $77. You know, lepidolite mica, it has potassium, lithium, aluminum, silicon and oxygen, and then fluorine. So it's like a fluorohydroxide at the end. So certain parts of micas always are repeat the formula, kind of like garnets do. What changes and is different in this particular type of mica is the fact that it is a lithium mica. Now don't get it confused with lithium muscovite. There is a muscovite mica that is a lavender color, but don't get too caught up with remembering all this. I just want to give you the other alternative possibility so you know that something could be something else, but it'd be quite the rare find. And that color in muscovite is thought to be created more by manganese than by the lithium combination. So doubt that you'll ever run up against that, but if you see mica like that, then you can pretty well be assured that it is from Araquaí in Brazil. Once I learned that word, I was like a little child learning to say mommy, and I just said it over and over again. I had to. It's the only way I was going to learn it and retain it. So it was crazy. I mean, I speak enough Spanish, but trying to say that word in front of the Brazilian, and he was trying to. Luckily though, I have bought a number of pieces from him, so my purchases bought some patience in teaching me how to pronounce the origin. You know what a stickler I am about knowing origin, and that would have to include learning how to pronounce the word. Okay, check this out. I have item number 1117023. So, since we are talking about something Brazilian, I have something very Brazilian for you. And this makes a really nice collection or display of beautiful tourmalines. Look at these. Okay, so let me get my tweezers. All right. This is actually a amazing indicolite tourmaline, and I'll show you. So to me, indicolite used to always have to be nothing but blue, right? Nothing but blue color. And thank you. Look at that blue. Look at the blue color in there. But so many times, and remember, it's also dichroic, so it can change color with the direction you look at it in. And you see that? It's actually blue on one end and green on the other. That's because of the different angle that we're looking at it in. And then so if cut properly and oriented properly, you could probably have a pretty much all blue stone from above. But indicolite, thank you, sir, anymore is a tourmaline that is blue, but can certainly have green portions in it. That's facet grade. Let me show you. I hope that your screen is tuned in for red, because I have a stunning, look at that, perfect crystal shape, rubellite stone, and this is true rubellite, which of course is ruby-like in color. And so many times there's pink tourmaline that's called that. I'm seeing some other colors in it, but right now I'm seeing purple. If you cut a purple tourmaline out of it, I want it back. If that is actually the purple that I'm seeing, I want it back. When I looked at it at home, I saw a lot of red. Look at this really nice termination to it, though. It's a really interesting termination to the end, and then the classic there. So this, whatever color it might be, is facet grade. I was really excited about seeing that, and of course I'd save it for myself, but I can't cut everything. Look at this now. What is so cool is the stacked crystals like that, the multiple crystals. And then you see that, you might be inclined to think that this white is a feldspar, because feldspar, especially like clevelandite, is often found with rubellites or tourmalines. But no, this is actually one of the whitest muscovite mica is what that is. And muscovite, yes, does come in a white color tone. Let me use a different wavelength of light and show you. Let's try this. This, you can see, is a wonderful clarity and has a couple of colors in it. It is a very pinkish red, thank you, sir, in my lighting. But in obviously in other lighting, it looks quite different. I think when you get this, whoever is lucky enough to get this parcel, you're going to be thrilled at the actual color of these stones. They're going to be a lot stronger and more attractive than the way they may have appeared to you. All right, so either way, it's such a wonderful opportunity. $38 for the parcel. $38, and yep, that is it. All right, so let me tuck those 3 pieces away. I'll be right back. I have the ring for you. This stone, and now I don't have it in the graphics, but that's okay because I only repaired it. There's a big difference between repair a stone and faceting one from rough. So what I did, this was part of that magnificent estate, and this stone, I actually set in this mounting decades ago. This happened decades ago, and she didn't get the stone from me. I know where she got it from, and that's how I know all the information about it. It is exactly the color that you want an incredible Burma peridot to be. You're going to be seeing, as I get them cut, some of the Pakistani peridots that have been rivaling some of Burma's finest. They tend to be a little bit more olive green, a little bit darker saturation. Everything is to each other's like. Now, the Chinese material, which you see very commonly used in jewelry, especially small stones, they're going to be more of that yellow, limey yellow color. And then the other ones that I like really well actually are also the San Carlos Apache Reservation, Arizona peridot. But Burma peridot, boy, here you go. Now, talk about a difference. If you go to shopping prices, the difference between a peridot from other origins compared to a peridot from Burma is a big difference in value. And look at this. Okay, so repairing is something that many top facetors can't do. Top gem cutters can go in and take a piece of rough and do magnificent cuts. But if they're given a gem and it has all these little nicks and abrasions on it, what has to occur for the lapidator to be able to do is to go in and find each index. That means, you have different index tooths. So 64 index is what I most commonly use. To do triangles, you have to use a indexing gear divided by 3. So 72 tooth or 96 tooth. And that way, that does, it reaches all the facets going around a stone. Then you have basically your protractor, 0 to 90 degrees. So you have to find the angle cut towards the girdle, and as it moves up, the angle decreases. You have to find all the angles on the pavilion as well. So you have to find the angle, the index, and then what we call the cheat factor. Even if you have the right angle and everything, when you go to polish, it won't always polish evenly across. So there's another little adjustment setting on the faceting mast that allows the indexing just to move a little bit just back and forth so you can get those facets cut straight and the polish even. To do that, I could have cut this from rough just as fast as cutting and repairing the entire crown. Truly, because I'm going and creating my own angles, and I just go in and index and angle, index, angle. When you go in and have to find somebody else's index and angle, and when they're native cut, they're not symmetrical. So in other words, the one facet cut on one side in a particular exact place, there may be the same facet symmetrically on the other side, but it will be at a different angle and indexing. That's native cutting. They, it's amazing how they do it, though, with some of the primitive equipment that they do it with. Truly, truly amazing. But it makes it very difficult to go back and clean up. So I did the cleanup on this. I took it out. I know the exact weight because of that. 10.54 carats. This stone, peridot, to go over 10 carats is extremely rare to find. Now, I'm going to take this off and I'm just going to show a little bit more of this. It has one veil inclusion in it that is well hidden. The original cutter did a great job, and you can see it is a little bit off to this side. Now, let me take it off of here, and then let me move it away from the black. Okay, so here, look at the depth of the stone. So it's got a really nice depth. That's going to give you great saturation. It's a size 10 1/4, finger size 10 1/4. So that you know that, and of course can be sized to anything. If it's already a 10 1/4, we can make it a 13, or we can get it back down in the original range of, well, 4, 5, 6, whatever you want. Look at all the prongs. Why is that beneficial? Because it protects the edge all the way around. In other words, wherever you might hit this thing, which is like against a doorknob, or if you're one of those stick shift tappers, I know I was. I had a Datsun 240Z. Yes, I did. I wish I had that car back when I was 16. And I bought it, drove it for 2 years, and sold it for more than I bought it for. I should have known right then to keep that car. But anyway, I completely wore off the little diagram of the stick shift on it because I had a ring on my right hand, and I just would rest my hand on the stick shift and I tap it. Just tap it with mine, tap, 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 tap. And yeah, so I'm not alone. Others do it. But anyway, what can happen is the ring can turn around on someone's finger, get to the bottom side, and then they go tap it away. There's all kinds of ways to damage a ring. Believe me, I have seen them all. But when you have this kind of protection around it, it makes it real difficult because whatever hits it has to get right in between two prongs, and that just almost does not occur. So this color, extremely desirable. And if, Dave, can we get any closer on this? Let me see. To just show the facet, there we go. So normally it would be what we call an oval brilliant. But if you see, there's actually 2 levels of cutting. So you can see, let me get my little pointer here. There is the first level, which is this one. So this is what is called a main. And instead, normally this main would encompass this entire area with a facet on either side like this one has at the bottom of it. And then you would have your star facets, which would be where you see up here. Well, the difference is right here. This main is split. So you have a triangle formed there and a triangle formed there. By doing that, you really increase the angles that the light will bounce back up out of the stone and reflect out the top. So, yeah. With me, I can tell you how the gold is alloyed. I can tell you how the stone is cut and get into great depth about either one. Sometimes beyond what you probably even want to know. This stone has a very, very strong desirability factor because of the size and that color, the saturation of color. And peridot often, more times than not, has many inclusions, often has black inclusions and other ones. So when you have one like this, you just have one veil inclusion that is only visible at particular angles. It is a, and being this large, of course, the bigger the stone, the more chance that it is to have inclusions. So this one very, very few considering the size. All right, we'll go back to a regular view distance and show you. I'll put this on my hand for just a moment next to my ruby ring, and we'll give you a idea of just how impressive that is. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Great color. Nice, simple, classic setting. And you could probably find a semi-mount in one of Gem Shopping's other shows. You just have to ask. A lot of times they'll have semi-mounts, but not like years ago. If you were watching years ago, we used to actually get the semi-mounts out and showcase them, but not. We don't do that anymore. But you can ask and request as each vendor and see if they have anything that might work. You have the dimensions there, so it will easily adapt a 14 by 10. 14 by 12 would be really easy to do, and maybe they'll take something else out. Maybe they have a beautiful mounting. I have seen beautiful mountings, again, like the one I sold, that had that blue topaz in it. There was a double diamond row of high quality diamonds in it. I was just thinking, would it fit that? Would it fit that stone? It wouldn't have, but that would have been a great thought. So, all right, I have a price on this. Okay, let me tell you. So when I was looking up at the sites that even have anything that sell something like this, including the site where this originally came from. All right. For one thing, at this point, they did not have any stones over 10 karat. This would have been part of what they would have called the presidential collection. I'll just go that far and say that. The stones that were in the 4 and 5 carat range were being sold for 100 to 150 a carat. So those were half the size of this. When you get over the 10 karat mark, that is, again, like a kind of a magic mark with diamonds and so many other stones. And in particular, peridot, the price really bumps up in the price per carat. But forget all that. Forget all that. Just know that in if it could be found, a really good price on a stone this size would be in the range of, I don't know, $2,000 to $2,500, and that would be a good value if you could find it. Price on this one. Think about the mounting, the semi-mount. How much do you think that would be with the price of gold, that scroll setting? I am sure that it would be a $500 or $600 just for that mounting. And that'd be an okay price, nothing wrong with that. And, you know, that usually would include the setting, which is, oh, by the way, takes a long time to do with that many prongs, remember? More prongs, a lot more time, and the higher chance of liability. The more prongs you have to push over that stone, you take a chance with every prong that there is. So there's that too. By the way, I completely polished the girdle on this. The girdle, which is the rim around the stone, had no polish at all. So it really, really, really improved the already beautiful pop too. $888. $888. And since, of course, there's no way we can ever negotiate price, I just go right to the bottom. This one, as in most all the other jewelry items, if it doesn't sell here, I just move it over to vendors' shows, and of course it gets bigger exposure and whatnot, and the price will, let me just say this, the price will never be less than what you see it is right now, either in my show or any other show. So that is a price that, of course, I wouldn't be able to even replicate. $888 on that big, beautiful, beautiful gem for you. Okay. Now, 111-6123. I have so many items here to show you in this show. Plus, I had an educational on dyed turquoise. We'll get to that. It won't take. It's worth really getting to, so that you know what to look for, especially with all these shows, and almost every show is going to have turquoise because people are familiar with it. It sells well, but there's also large markups because of the shenanigans that they mess around with on it. All right, now take a look at this. Here is one of those pieces that you can take a photo of, and it would look like it would belong on the cover of Lapidary Journal or Rock and Gem, something like that, because of the aesthetics of it. Take a look at this. Oh yes, I had sold some of these many years ago. I kept a couple back, and I've decided to offer a couple of them for sale. Malawi, country in Africa. Here is one of those specimens that, again, the aesthetics of it looks like something off the cover of a magazine. That's why it says it is world class. It is from my collection. It is with orthoclase. I know the type of feldspar from Mount Melosa. I know the mine. Look at all these crystals of smoky quartz at all these angles, nestled amongst, look at this one, going right through the feldspar. Then the agarine. Oh yeah, agarine. Look at the agarine as part of these extremely well-formed crystals. And the neat thing about a specimen like this, every angle is a showy angle. And look at that crystal hanging off of there. And is a fantastic viewpoint of the piece. Look at that. Agarine, you've heard of it. It is common. Look, see that crystal then with the other little one coming off of it? It is makes up parts of a lot of other mineral specimens that you have seen. The black in it will be agarine. Look at all these crystals nestled down in and around here. I mean, every different angle. Let's give one more close-up of this one, Dave. Anywhere would work. There we go, perfect, that's perfect. See this, like that little crystal right there. I mean, until you get the angle right, you don't see it. And then, boom. Look at that. This is one of those that you get the magnifier out and you look at it for a couple of hours. I am not kidding you. Now, remember some of the ones I've sold before? Let me give you a little tip. They may have zircons. Others I have sold have had zircon crystals. Look at that beautiful crystal. One of the ways you might be able to tell, take a UV light, go into that closet, let your eyes adjust properly. Takes at least 2 minutes, okay, for you to be able to see. Then the feldspar may fluoresce red, but you're looking for fluorescence of tiny little crystals of zircon, and they'll be this color. They'll be like a tan color. All right, so this, I don't even know if I've shown you every different angle. It doesn't matter. No, we haven't seen it from that angle. That's a stunning piece. So let's see. Let me just get that big crystal up there. We'll leave it like that. And the price is so affordable for the look that you get. You know, I am way under market, I am sure, on this. But, yeah, $88 on that. Only $88 on that one. Now, I am going to give you a chance in case you missed out, because I know a lot of you end up missing out. Let me show you one more. 111 Okay, let's see here. Yep, we have 1116023. Okay, yep, I am offering 2. And they each look very different from each other, and yet have some of the same characteristics. And also, like I said, watch for the things that may be missed, and that takes magnification and maybe UV light. Look at this. Now I'll put it next to this for a moment to compare. Look at this specimen. This, look at how long and tall this is. Look at that, okay? So aesthetically, it's just as beautiful. It's just a different look because it is mostly one crystal with everything off of it. This other one is more of a cluster. So we'll remove this one and then let Dave take us in and show you. Look at that agarine crystal with the incredible orthoclase crystals growing up, and then this cluster of incredible smoky quartz at the bottom. And then look at this, another agarine coming across there. That's what you want to see. That is what the crystal collectors want to see in a specimen. Okay. I see right now something that I didn't list that will be something of interest. I would look closer at what those crystals are right there. Are they simple quartz or are they something else? You can check fluorescence. Fluorescence might mean they're calcite. There's also crystals like that color. That may be this tannish color. That's the color that the zircons were. Now, look at this. I am seeing in that smoky a very potential for it to be a phantom, maybe, or is that some inclusions in there? That's going to be part of the fun you're going to have, because if I find it's all too cool and has so many neat things in it, it's worth more. That's the market. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. And this is a classic look for an agarine. Look at that. You have a termination. You have termination up here. It's just not like it's been broken off. You have the crystal growth there too. So here is one special piece. And look at how large that is. This one, I mean, I really don't even know what the market value on them anymore is, to tell you the truth, because this was so long ago. But I know that if I saw that and it was listed for only $118, I would say that is a lot of bang for the buck in a specimen like that. These were found quite some time ago. So I'm not even sure if this particular location is producing any more specimens like that. So that matters also. And like I said, I'm a little bit out of touch with that. Okay, you guys are going to love what's coming up.
How much is this last one?
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you. It was $118. Yep. So $88. You know, I don't know. I think I could have reversed the numbers, and it would have been just as equally understandable. So go figure. I just know that there's not. I won't be showcasing or having any more to offer like that, and I know that in the market I can't find any more like that. Okay, let's look. Item 1116523. Now, some of you old timers might have seen me offer maybe one of these some time ago, but I held it back, and then if you have been following any of the Jade Wars, you know I'm well due to the connections I have in British Columbian Jade. They had, just like the Gold Rush shows, they had a Jade show, and it caused a big stir among what they refer to as the First Nations, which are the native tribes that hold the mining rights in British Columbia. And of course, the stupid TV show goes in, makes it always, of course, it's not fun to watch a TV show unless you think they're going to find a big strike the next show. And that's the way these are set up. I'm very familiar with how they get their revenue, maintain revenue, and develop revenue. And like Oak Island, do you think that one person would put millions of dollars into drilling holes on an island and lose all of his fortune that he had? No. You know, to find a few trinkets, these people are paid by the producers, by the television, not the television network, but by the TV, what am I thinking of? Separate production companies, okay? And to create these shows. So they're paid because depending on how big of a draw they are to the show. Just to give you an idea, the Gold Rush show has had over 100 employees working at any given time on producing that show. That's how much on a Friday night at 8 o'clock the value of the dollars for commercials allowed them to spend that because of the value to it. So everything is not all the way it seems. So of course my Jade people did not participate in any, but they got some of the fallout, and mining has ceased for the last 2 years. I am going to show you something that they would love to be able to produce this quality anymore. They're hoping, and I just have been speaking to the owner's daughter in the last week, and they are hoping to mine this summer, and after getting things straightened out. So what happened was, you know, they create these shows, and then the tribal members always see it, and they make like all this value is being taken out and off of their lands, even though, you know, they've sold the mining claim, you know, the right to mine and whatnot, but they think that, of course, they're not getting enough for it. And so, but that's the nature of the game. You watch the gold shows, they're always going to find the big nugget the next show, of course, to draw you into the next show. So this quality jade, check this out. This is a switch plate, and I had saved this for my own self, and you know, I just was thinking, it's like, I don't know when I will ever. So, okay, this type of switchblade, you can go to your home goods store and find all kinds of different type of switches that will fit this. Now, what this is, it's more of of course, Canadian. These are more English style or European style. But here in America, you can find the dimmer switches. Lots of different dimmer switches will fit this. You can also find other regular style switches just because there's no choices that they'll be there. You can take this into the store. Obviously, they'll know it's not theirs, and see what'll fit. And also what these are beveled even, so you can countersink the screws right in there. The quality of this is outstanding. It even has the notches for those particular switches that have those places like that. Extremely fine, extremely fine. And price on this, only $77. It's worth it if you took it and cut cabochons out of it for the quality of this material. This is the good stuff. Look at that. Look at that green. Very little black. Just a beautiful piece. Okay. Now, let me keep moving here because I can get so excited about each and every piece. I have lots of good stuff to get before you. Okay, you guys are gonna love this stuff. Item number 1115723. So, I hit the jackpot when I was, let's call it noodling. That's what they call it when you are digging around on the opal mounds or fossicking, and you know, you find something. Well, that's kind of what I was doing, but I was doing it in my own home, and I hit the jackpot. Remember, Raven's a little squirrel herself. She tends, you know, nothing. I don't harbor anything against her because at times it has been a blessing. I do not know the story completely behind these, but I know they're very old. So let me set up to be able to show these to you, and I'll be right back. All right, look at this. This is some really stuff, well, anyway, that you're gonna like. All right, check it out. Of course, it's a beautiful polished crystal. So what they do when they find a crystal and it's got cool stuff, so you know how oftentimes the crystal have striations on the outside or whatever. So they actually polish the original faces that are there when the crystal is such that you want to see into it. Dave, take us inside this jewel. Door number 1 is going to get you, look at this, look, rutile. Okay, I don't know where to start. You can see the rutile needles. It's smoky quartz for another thing. This also, beautiful chlorite inclusions. You have these wonderful, wonderful wispy, look at irises, iris. So iris quartz, very desirable. Rutilated quartz, very desirable. Has chlorite, desirable. Look at those needles. Look at all the irises as we spin this around, including a quite a dandy one. You catch them at the right angle. We'll look at it at the top up there. Always look at these for potential anhydros, water bubbles in them, especially the ones that seem to have a lot of stuff. It may take a bit of looking and moving it back and forth if you locate a spot that may produce one. This one, probably not much chance, but you never know what is hidden in the clouds. Look at that. I just love when I see those light reflecting off those, what looks like laser rays. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that iris. And then, look at that, how cool. Faceted, beveled edge is faceted as well. And a nice look. Look at that. Look at that. Didn't even see that one before. One like that, a circular one, that looks like something from deep space. Okay, price on this, because I have a lot to do and not a lot of time. How about this? My personal, $68, personal collection, $68. Had that a long time. Okay, I'm gonna kind of step out of the order of the things I was gonna show you because I have something here I wanna make sure gets shown. This is item 111-6423, and this, I can tell you, I have had it for so long. I'm talking decades. If there ever was something as a D block, tanzanite, well, this stone is old enough that it could be from any one of those blocks. It's incredible. And so why did I have it for so long? Because it had a chip in it, and I have so much stone cutting to do at different times that I never cut it out for myself. I finally did. I finally took the time. Let me show you a tanzanite that going way back for its, look at that. Look at that. To me, this approaches the near perfect color. That sapphire look with a hint of the lavender purple or whatever, the red flash. It is a really, look at that saturation. And look at the cut. It's got a really nice shape. So as I look at this, okay, it is been faceted as the law required that the stones be cut in Tanzania to provide working work for the locals. Actually, at one point, I was almost going to be part of a work program and teach stone cutting in Thailand to some of the local people in Kanchanaburi. That didn't pan out, and I'm glad it did. Thailand had some political issues after that, and I would not have wanted to be in the country at the time that would have occurred. But this stone I had long time. So I cleaned and polished up again, using the original facets, the original indexing and angles of what was there. So I didn't get to do my magic, but it didn't need it. It didn't need it. This stone had a beautiful look on its own. Let me show you next to the ruby, give you an idea of the size, since everyone knows the ruby. And look at that. Look at that. That's a nice, large gem, as you can see, with some fantastic color. All right. Loose. Again, a stone you could find a mounting for or just keep it like it is. There you go, circa right there, 1990s. So that's what I'm saying. I know it's 25 to 30 years going back in time. And many, many mines, some of the best materials pulled out sooner than later. I have a price on this. Okay, so remember tanzanites like this? What were they selling for? 600 a carat, 700 a carat. Back, especially back during that time. So that would have put the stone at, $2,500 to $3,000. When they were 500 a carat, that would make that stone $2,300 or so. $300 a carat, that would make that stone roughly around $1,500. And that would be only $300 a carat for that kind of color and size. That would be a really good value. That would be a good value. But I'm not about good. I am about great value. How much at 200 a carat would that be? That would be roughly, $950 at 200 a carat. 200 a carat. You know, there's people that paid 600 a carat for their tanzanite and that are hearing that price opportunity right now, probably getting a little sick to their stomach. 200 a carat, $950. There were many. I was actually on a cruise ship one time when I saw these lighter color tanzanites being sold for $1,000 a carat. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. It was a true story. Final price. Final price opportunity. There's only going to be one, and it is completely freshened up, and the whole crown and girdle has been cleaned up and no nicks. It's a beautiful, beautiful gem. $588. That is only $123 a carat. I kid you not. The only opportunity I have. If you want a tanzanite like that. Now, that does not represent the market value or the value. You're just going to be able to buy a quarter for a dime or a quarter for a nickel. That's all it means. It means you're just getting it at a really, really, really good deal. It does not, again, like I said, reflect the actual value. It's not like tanzanites are worth 100. No, they're worth many times that. They're 3-4 times that amount of money. I am just giving some lucky person the lifetime of an opportunity. If they have been waiting to get a tanzanite, then their wait is over. This is the stone that has been waiting for them. Look at that. Look at that. That's the color, the brilliance. That's the good stuff. Okay, next. Item number 116223. 116223. I only have 2 of these parcels. And let me set those right here for the moment. Yes, sir. That number, and we'll magnify that. So 1116223. 111. Okay. Now, again, I have 2 parcels. And that means only 2 people are going to be as fortunate as you're going to see in a moment. Look at this. These are, it's an odd weight, 235 carat each in each parcel. Now, there's just a dividing line here. No particular reason one is on one side or the other, but it allows it to be divided up easier for you to see because I'm not going to dump these out. Here they are. Here they are. So, you know, let someone else have them if, even though you might be inclined to take both, limit just one so that at least 2 people can get in on them. There, I'm not going to tell you what everything is. There's howlite. Look at this. There's also moonstone because it would take too long. Because most of you know what everything is. If you don't recognize it, it's going to be an agate or a jasper. Look at that. Look at the color in that moonstone. It's where, and the beautiful, beautiful rose quartz. There's sodalite. If we can go in a little bit more, Dave, I'll just cover this for a moment. There's going to be bloodstone, carnelian, agates, jaspers, green onyx. Here's the other one. Rose quartz, howlite. Some are drilled beads, but not very many. Look at the rhodonite there. Rhodonite, hematite, tiger eye, agates and jaspers, snowflake obsidian, sodalite, bloodstone, and so much more to sit down and have some fun with. Okay, here you go. 235 carats. I don't know what it works out to price per carat, but for each one of these, I am offering them for only crazy $33 each. $33 for everything you see in there. $33 for everything you see. That's incredible. So, it's just going to be random pick. There's 2 parcels and, oh, here's a unikite I see in that. Unikite, which I haven't talked about in a while. Let me show it to you real quick. Unikite, the green is epidote, the red is a red jasper. So we talk about that before and often don't get a chance to show you one. There it is right there. Oh, I saw some really unusual agate I hadn't seen in a while. It was the pata de gallo. Really, really cool stuff. Okay, $35 each. Thanks for putting each in there. All right, now let's keep going. Next, I have, oh, you're gonna like this. Hold on, where's that amazing tanzanite? I want to make sure I put it in this paper. Look at that. Look at that stone. Wow. I mean, that looks just, look at that. Beautiful, doesn't it? It looks just beautiful. If you did nothing but keep it in a gem paper, seriously. You know, one of the nice things, fun is opening a gem paper to see what's inside. But make sure you always open it correctly or you will be seen as a rookie. Dave, if you can just pull out a little bit so I can just show everybody really quick how that's done. Okay, so if this is presented to you by a dealer and, you know, you're expected to close it up properly, so you take this part and you fold it in like that. Now this is where I see so many times things go wrong. Then it's kind of like maybe a quesadilla when you fold in both of the ends which mostly I fold in only one end on the quesadillas, but both of the ends, and then what feels natural, the way the paper bends this way and then this way. So when you see that, that is on the back flap. When it's often given to you, the weight will be, you see this? This is the front. So this is how it's often handed. The information will be on this side. What you do is you turn it over like this, because you know the stone is here. So you want to make sure you keep it where it's not going to come out. You've opened this flap. Now when you do that, you can actually cheat a little bit and feel where the stone is, so you know where and what to do. Next, you open one wing and the other. The stone still protected right there. And then finally, what you do is when you open this, you don't open it all the way, you open it only partially. If you have a bunch of little diamonds and milli, there's an opportunity and chance that at this point, many of them can pop. The paper sometimes will have a little motion and will pop, and if it does, it can just pop up all kinds of those little diamonds all over an aisle at a show. Look at that. That's a beauty. All right, again, that part, one side, other side, there. Boom. All right, take advantage of those gems, because again, that was a neat little discovery I made that I, instead of keeping every one, which I should have done, I am sharing it with you. Okay, look at this next item. Here is a rarity, 111-5523, 111-5523. A rarity in the sense that this was hand-picked. We would have hand-picked this, so it would have been a better specimen than any others, because if we were making a purchase or buying something, we're not going to buy what the lower quality ones, because we know the difference. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. You can already see what's coming. I am going to put a black background here, because in this case, you already know it's a perfectly crystal clear piece of quartz crystal with no tint of color, so it's not a smoky quartz. Look at that. This is a phantom quartz on another level. I am talking about really cool level. All right, look at that right there, that form. As we go in closer on this, you're going to be able to see many, many phantoms. All right, that's just an optical reflection of the phantoms off of the sides. Now, a phantom is created when the crystal is growing, and then at some point dust or something in the pocket will occur, causing the crystal to stop growing. But then at another point, it will start growing again. And it can do this over and over many times. And you can get these phantom effects, and there can be, dozens of them. Now, what is so cool about this is one of the best phantoms I've ever seen, because it, well, can we go a little closer in there, Dave? Work your magic. All right, now let me show you. Yeah, I'll do that. Let me show you a couple of different ways to view this. Oh yeah, here we go. There we go. That's exactly what we need. That's what I wanted to show you right there. All right, you see the blurriness to that phantom? That is what you want to see, because that is the true phantom. You have, that's what makes it a phantom. It's not a, it's very ghost-like, very ghost-like. You have almost a reflection of its own self. In other words, it's a phantom of a phantom. Now, as we come down here, look at that. Look at that perfect phantom, including the other side faces to the crystal. You have some chlorite. And let me change the angle here, because as we do, you're going to see additional Look at that. Optical fascinations to it. Look at that. Okay, look at over here on the right. Look at how close and how many phantoms there are right next to each other. Let's come down here and check it out. This is when you can make a night light out of a phantom easily. Get one of those cheap night lights, rip off the front cover, attach this even with epoxy to the light, and bingo. Very easy. Look at that. See that? It's in a reflective image on top of a phantom. It's just, I don't know, really, really unique. Now, every different side is going to give you a different view. Look at the chloride. That even looks like a bat right there. As we come back up, now let me show you, coming in from the top. These are very, very collectible. There we go. Look to the left. Let me see here. Where you get the there we go. The multiple reflections right there. This poor little crystal worked really hard to grow and was interrupted many times, but it, see that face? Look at how well the evenness of that phantom, of the coating, whatever caused it to stop, covered that crystal so well. And then look at this. It's only the turn of a small amount when you can get those multiple images that you may not even know are there. Right there. Look at that. Look at that. Also check these for bubbles in hydro, water bubbles. Look at the tip. Okay, now let me try this. Let me put this underneath it, and for a moment, as Dave follows me up, straight up on this, and we'll move it back a little bit. I think you can get the whole thing. So this is just with barely any light, with all kinds of blockage, and look at how attractive that is. What kind of cool night light would that make? What kind of mood lighting would that make? You can even be as simple as a flashlight to do it, to create that look, and just replace the batteries every now and again. What a great light for the bathroom. You know, if you're a rock hound, it's things like this that you want to decorate your house in. Wow. Now, that's with a different wavelength of light. Let me try one other one. Look at this one. This one is the yellow tone of light. And it's, look, see this flashlight? It's as simple as that. I could use this light, and it has a switch right there, see? Look at that. As simple as this, and I'm holding this, and it's not, you know, it's not coming off. So you can use something as simple as this to create what a wonderful, wonderful look. Thank you, sir. Now, this was from my own collection, so you know it's a cool piece. And your price opportunity on this guy, probably well less than, well less than the market on this one. So, beautiful Brazilian piece. And price on this, you're gonna love it. It's only, do I dare? $48. $48. Next, I have item number 1115923. 111 5923. You know I have saved some special items, and I have been discovering some items. So it's kind of serendipitous that to have to go through everything I've been through with the house, but it has allowed me to find some very neat items. Look at this. And I can see why we saved the ones that we did. And it's because they are the pick of the litter, so to speak. You know, knowing what we know and what we like. Yeah, we picked what we like, but usually what we like is what other people like. Look at this. As we go in on this one, this is manifestation quartz, meaning look at these. Look at these. We'll start right here at the top. There is a row of phantoms right here. We'll just add additional light. And let's see if we get, yeah, boom, boom. Count those, will you, huh? How many are there? And that is on that one face. Now, let me show you. Manifestation quartz is quartz that has internal crystals that have grown in it. In other words, quartz has grown around quartz. Look at that right there. You can see that quartz crystal termination coming right in there. As we come down here, look at that. That crystal is on the inside. As we come around here, let me backlight this. Look at that one. Look at that big crystal. You know, some of those look like a water bubble. There better not be one that I've missed, but I've done it. Look at that crystal. Oh, Dave, take us right down here. I wish I had a third hand to use as a pointer. Right there, that little crystal right there. Hold on. Yep. Yeah. Let me get that. Let me get the other light. Hold on. Here we go. Let's do this. And here we go. There we go. All right. Look at that. That is completely inside within the quartz. So is that one. Oh, hold on. I can do this. Hold on. Let me put this down here if Dave just follows my insanity. And let me turn this turntable off. Okay. Yes, I am excited because I haven't even seen these. All right. Look at that. Look at that perfect little crystal right there. And then as we come down here, here's another perfect one. And then right here, there's another one there. Look at this beauty right there. Now, let's go back up with this light and look at that phantom at the top, all the way at the top. Okay, as we turn this, look at that. Oh my. Look at that. That's cool. Then, look at the crystal. Wait, where's my pointer? Look at that crystal right there. You see it coming in. Here's the termination. So here's the side. Look at that. I'll show these to you in a moment of where they're coming from. What is that? Wow, that looks like almost like amber, like a bug in there or something. There's this big crystal right there. And I'll show you that in a moment. And as we come down here, we'll take a look at anything we have missed, which there is. Let me move this up here for a moment. Looks like space. Yeah, it does. It does look like space. The final frontier. Oh, that is just amazing, amazing stuff. Okay, then there's all these tiny little perfectly formed crystals. All right, thank you, sir. Now, let me show you where all these develop from. Okay, here's the piece. Now, look at this. See the six-sided crystal right here? that is what is protruding right there and terminating right there. As we go in closer, let me show you what, as I undo, here we go. All right, so here's the six-sided to the crystal. There is the termination point right there. Then here are the others. See these six sides? Six sides? These are the crystals, the outside of them. So they have been polished. There's another darker, unusual one, and they extend into this piece, as you can see. Look at that. Look at that. And then there's irises. Oh, look at those. We didn't see all of these. Oh my. Look at all those phantom growths going all the way down. This has chlorite. It has, it will give you hours. It's better than a barrel full of monkeys for fun. Look at all the phantom lines. Look at the phantom lines inside the crystal that is inside the crystal. Look at that one. It does look like space. I don't know what space exactly looks like, but it does seem otherworldly no matter what. Look at that. Thank you, sir. All right. So it's smoky quartz crystal. Price on this guy, for all that beauty, for only $58. $58. And that's a lot of fun for only $58. Indeed. Now, let me show you. I have another one, but I have other things to get to real quickly here as the clock is ticking. Item number 1117123. This is one I have been holding out for a long time. And it was Anna King, who was my favorite silver maker. It is one of her pieces that she created that was nothing to do with jewelry. It is wonderfully heavy. Check this out. Look at this. Look at that labradorite skull. Look at the in the teeth. Look at all the color and the reflections in every angle I turn this. Then, this is completely hand done. All this silver wire work is laid in there and sweat soldered on. I have seen the shops in Morocco that do this kind of work in non-precious metal and precious metal. It's incredible. It's incredible. Look at the neat little feet on this. Now there is the upside down, AKJ for Anna King Jewelry. There's the 925 sterling stamp. There's a little surprise though. It's a box. It is a box. Now, if you want, you can actually take your silver polish cloth and polish that. But I didn't or anything because I think you should actually do a little felt lining. I have done that before. And create a little lining on it for whatever you may put in it. It just makes it kind of classy. But other than that, it's wonderfully finished. Look at the weight. This is a heavy piece, a big piece, beautifully crafted. And I have a crazy price on this. My cost on these originally, I remember because it was, I even had difficulty because she just had sent these, but I went ahead and paid it, and then ended up keeping one, and we ended up selling the others, and everything worked out, so I probably shouldn't have whined. But at this point, many years later, I'm talking about 10 years later or so, I'm actually selling it for less than what I paid for it, but that's that's the kind of show I bring you. Price on this guy, if you want something really cool, this is it. This is it. Or for a gift for somebody, talk about a neat, unique gift. $128. $128 on that. And I do absolutely remember, because I was in shock, what it originally had cost me, which was 140 something. Crazy. Okay, let me keep going as I want to get to. Look, oh yeah, oh yeah. Here we go. Let me show you. I know everyone wants these, so let me feature them. 111-5823. 111-5823. And let me unwrap this. This is defines the meaning. Hold on, let me put this little thing together here. I should be good after all these years. Yep. Okay. A piece like this defines the meaning of the word or the words. Rutilated quartz. Check this out. Look at this. Yes. Rutilated quartz. And adding let me get the other, adding a little light to this guy. Wow. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. That, you can actually display it many different ways, or just stand it up the way the crystals are. Now this is, see some of these stars, if you have a hematite center and the 6 rutile legs coming out, well, you know how valuable those are. There is probably probably hematite in here. There's also something, oh, that's what I wanted to show you. Look at this. Look at this. Let me get my pointer. Oh, if I was only an octopus. Here we go. Look, okay, so we have one there. Where is that crystal? I missed it. I'll find it. Look, these crystals are perfectly formed, and they stand out exquisitely in the specimen. There's also on the rutile additional other, I'm not sure exactly what's formed on them, but something has. That is, it looks like a spinel crystal, a bipyramidal crystal. So I'm thinking it was just quartz in quartz, but yeah, that's completely internal. So not complete, look at that, completely sure what that is. So that is worth discovering. Okay, so let me put that back here for a minute. Let's get you a price on that. Here we go. A price on that entire piece, only $44. $44 on that one. That's a jewel. That is a jewel. Oh, I've got to get these. Yes, okay, here's something you can no longer get, and you're going to know why in just a moment. You're going to know why. When I say that I am showing you a type of beryl that you aren't that familiar with. Russian heliodor. Heliodor. Now, when you call a beryl a heliodor, yeah, sorry about that. The number on this is 111-7223. Heliodor, look at that. Now heliodor, this is the original color heliodor was meant to be. Now heliodor just means all yellow or golden beryl. But the reality of it, or the name heliodor originally meant for a yellowish green color type beryl. And this I see right now is kind of special. Can you see those blue lines right there? Look, for one thing, it's bicolor. this reason. But the other thing is really tricolor. There is blue, in other words, aquamarine lines. So when this crystal was growing, at some point, there was iron or something that came into the equation to create those unique blue growth lines right there. Let me see if it stands on this end. It has a really nice termination, displays very well, and can't get it anymore. Price on this is only $68 for that Russian Heliodor beryl. No longer being mined, no longer available. Let me show you one other I'm offering. It's 111-7323. 111-7323, and here's your chance. Here's the two side by side so you can see the difference. There's also a difference in color. Look at that. That is a really nice, more of a green, but facet grade. There is some facet grade quality there. What a fantastic pendant this could make. Really a beautiful hexagonal shape and rare, unique, and unavailable anymore. Price on this guy, only $58. Only $58 on that. Now, let me show you, I have only a moment left. 111-6923. I had to go ahead and release a couple of these, and they are some of the most amazing out of everything I had in the Japanese rainbow. Yes, sir. It is 111-6923. It is some of the most amazing Japanese iridescent rainbow garnet. And these are large. The weight of this is 6.42 carats. And they say anything over a carat is big. It is 11.3 by 10 by 6.4. And look at how large those reflective surfaces are. Iridescent Japanese rainbow andradite, andradite being the type of garnet. This is from the Kohse mine, Kohse, which closed in '05. So this mine, where it's been closed from a long time. Now remember, this deposit was found near a magnetite mine, and so it became too well known, and the local precinct ended up arresting trespassers. So they have really shut down any availability of a material that was only being found in a deposit that was about 27 feet long, about 6 feet deep, and about 3 feet high. Really, really very little. $68 on this one. Only $68. If you try, and I encourage you to look these up on the internet to try to find one, you'll be amazed. 111-6723. 111-6723. I have another iridescent Japanese rainbow garnet. This stone, look at the incredible faces. These faces are crisp. Look at the colors. They don't have any of that other growth, mineral growth that you can see on some of these. And look at that. Look at the colors. Every little different angle you turn these can give you a completely different look. Dave, let me try my light for one moment on this. If you could work your magic, I want to see if I can pick up the other colors on this. Look at that. Thank you. All right. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm wanting to show you, is the look at the intensity. And the reflections you get. The sunlight will, of course, even bring out more. This is by far the finest andradite of its kind in the world, and there is no more. I probably have more of it than anyone, I would have to say, probably in the eastern United States. I mean, or in a huge area, huge geographic area. All right, thank you, sir. And that's why I can share some of these with you as I have at the prices that I have. Again, this does not represent the real value. So if I sell you this, price on it, only $68. But don't go out and, you know, sell it for $75 or make some money on it, because it is actual value, multiples of that, multiples of that. Okay, hold on. There was just to make sure everyone had a chance at these, since I know that you cannot have too many. When you are buying dimes for a nickel, you cannot have too many and go wrong. Now, I said I would show one of these. Item number 1017021. 1017021 for Miss Penny. This is a fulgurite created by a lightning strike. This is the one I had featured because it had such a really, really nice area where the lightning bolt went. Here is it's from Florida, and it comes with the box and the labels, and it's only going to be $21. This is a good one because you can see very well through it, and it has the coarse sand on the exterior. It is a collector specimen and approximately 1.5 by 3/4 inches. Comes with the box. Now, what here is, fulgurite collected in the 80s from the sifting shakers of a mine producing fine sand for building materials. So these were one guy, mostly one guy was working the sifter at a sand operation, fused sand into glass in Polk County. He knew what they were. So at the bottom of the sifter, at the end of the sifter, there were left, and they would go through all this sand, and over eons of time, lightning had struck the sand in this area so many different places, oddly enough, that there was a number of fulgurites that were discovered there, and he kept them. He kept them. All right, so I got that one in for Miss Penny. My time is up. I have other things I wanted to showcase for you. Oh, just one last one, please. 111-6823. 111-6823. This is the other one I was looking for. And it is the last of the really nice, fine, iridescent, Japanese iridescent garnets. It's 6.80 carats. And let me just show this to you because it may be exactly the one you want. Let me put this light on it, Dave, because it won't wash out the, look at that. Look at that surface and look at the colors at different angles. I see an incredible blue and lilac, and then look at that. What I like is the large faces on these, the size, and that's rare that you get these large faces with the large areas of iridescence. And that's just a beautiful look and a great gift to give someone if they don't have one, because there's no way they're going to be able to find these or be able to get them at any reasonable price. So this is kind of my continuing gift to all of you. And this one I am going to offer for only, why not, 6.80 carat. It's a large one. Only $77. $77. That's the last item of the show. I'll be right back with the trivia for you. Okay, so It's trivia time. If you're new to the show, at the end of every show, we ask a couple questions, or like last week, we had a figure out the specimens. And by the way, I was real proud of the way all of you were very successful at those specimens. So maybe we need to do that a little bit more often. I think that's good for all of you to, and even those of you that are more familiar with some of them. I have some tricky ones that may throw you off. So yeah, you'll be tested. But today, since we had a hard, kind of a hard 3-stone question last week for 3 different pieces, we only have 2 questions today. And so, again, the rules, you can't go back and watch the show to answer it. You can watch the show as many times as you want before you listen to the trivia. So you know as soon as the show ends, because we always say that, and we'll be back with the trivia, so you know you can stop right then. And then whenever you're ready to answer the trivia, then you can proceed forward with that part. If you take notes, you can use all the notes you want to answer the questions. Sometimes I make it harder than other times. And I have never really made it to where no one has been able to answer any. Oh, that did happen one time. That did happen in one show, actually fairly recently, where no one got it right. But that was the first time in 6 years. So, all right, here we go. Ready? Question number 1. And by the way, if you liked last week's show, which you did, you loved, and this week, which is unique, and I'm sure you will like it as well, there was many other items, and we'll just build on adding to those that I did not get to show you, and I can't wait. I can't wait to show you. Can't wait to show you other new stuff I found. Oh yeah, you know what? When you turn the house, someone's house upside down, as ours has been, it is bound to turn up items that you have, that I haven't seen in a long time. And that's kind of what some of that is happening. It's kind of stirring up treasures from the bottom of the ocean kind of thing, you know? It's like I remember that time when we found the eudialyte box with that incredible lid, beautifully made. And inside that eudialyte box was a hidenite crystal that I had tucked away. And that George, I remember exactly who got it, because one of the most precious treasures, genuine chromium colored hidenite from Hidden, North Carolina. And it had been tucked away there for years, just waiting for the right person. George had said he had been looking to get one, and that the one that I had was far finer and far less expensive. And that eudialyte box, tremendous piece, and they were misplaced. So, like the green spinel, which I feel bad, but can I say honestly that I'll not find, or that I do not have another green spinel? No. Whether it's good or bad, I told you that you're talking about 2 rockhounds here, and Raven started when she was 10. I started when I was 11, so I have 1 years collecting, and she's been since 10, and let's just say she's mid-50s. So she has 45 years collecting, so pretty much between us, we're almost 100 years of collecting. You know, our house could be described as, if someone looked at it that was not a rockhound, as kind of bordering on a hoarder, but we don't see it like that. No. I did back the Jeep up though. Had to move the Jeep. Hadn't moved the Jeep in a while. Backed the Jeep up, and I thought I'd pop the tire. You know why? because I backed it right into a quartz crystal cluster. I'm not kidding you. I'm glad Raven didn't see it because I knocked a bunch of crystals off that thing. It shouldn't have been where it was, you know, but those crystals were so sharp, I saved them, and there were a pile of them, and I quickly swept up everything. And, but, you know, that was lining part of our driveway. A quartz crystal cluster that was that big. Who does that? Who has those kind? For a rock garden means one thing, but a rock museum garden means something else. I have one of the largest agatized corals. It's truly this big around. The whole opening, the whole thing. It weighs over 100 pounds, and it is in the garden. No one would have any idea of how precious. The inside is like a stalactite cave and stalagmites. It is, well, it's museum quality. Right now there's weeds growing all through it and stuff. That's who we are. That's where we get our energy. That's what excites us. All right, question number 1. If I can read my writing here. All right. I counted in my head, when I showed you all those quartz crystals, I counted in my head how many different, or added up how many different type of inclusions or formations, the names of them, that were represented in those 4 crystals I showed you. And I came up with more than what I'm asking you to name. Question is, name 4 types of formations or inclusions found in the quartz crystals shown. Found in the quartz crystals shown. I thought about doing only 3 types of different ones, but I decided to go for 4. I want to push it. Now, when I say formations, there you can even choose something that may be in there but hasn't been found yet, or would be something that could be found in them that I might have mentioned. So, but you can't get crazy and name other inclusions found in quartz, because the number of different types of other minerals found in quartz is expansive. Like, you can't say goethite because we didn't see anything with goethite in it, and I didn't mention it. So 4 different types of inclusions or formations that I talked about that could be found or are found or we did find in those quartz crystals. 4. Okay, there is more. There's actually, I got to 5, so you might have to stretch your brain a little bit and just think about it. You'll come up with them. All right, question number 2. Now this one I think you should get because we did talk about it enough. What element is uniquely present in lepidolite mica? What element is uniquely present in lepidolite mica? And I'll give you one extra little hint to that. This element is responsible for its unique color. All right, so there it is. Again, the second one is what element is uniquely present in lepidolite mica. An additional clue to that is that helps lend itself to creating the color that you saw. Now, lepidolite mica does come in other colors, including that very rare one that I have and I have sold, and I think I may offer another specimen of it. The yellow lepidolite. Either way, I'm looking for that unique element that makes lepidolite. All right, that's it. a lot to clean up here, but I thank all of you for your continued support, your excitement. Happy Mother's Day again to all of you mothers out there. I can't say enough wonderful things about all of you. And 30 years after my mom's passing, I miss her terribly. And that's how special they are. God bless all of you. Take care, and I'll see you next weekend. No, next Monday. That's it. Cheers.